Danny Cole opened his eyes and saw nothing he recognized. The ceiling above him glowed with soft blue light. Strange machines hummed around his bed. The air smelled clean but wrong, like flowers he had never seen before. His body ached everywhere, and his head felt like someone had filled it with rocks. He tried to sit up, but his arms were too weak. A soft voice spoke words he did not understand. Then his translator implant kicked in and the words became clear. "He is waking up, go get." Danny turned his head slowly. A tall figure stood near the door. She had silver skin that seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. Her eyes were large and violet, like two gems set in a delicate face. She looked almost human, but not quite. Everything about her was too smooth, too perfect, too alien. The silver woman looked at him with a mix of curiosity and fear. Then she hurried out of the room. Danny closed his eyes and tried to remember what happened. His cargo ship, the pirates, alarms screaming as the hull breached. He remembered climbing into the escape pod and hitting the launch button. After that, everything was black. Someone had found him. Someone had saved his life. The door opened again. This time, two silver women entered. The first one was the same as before, young and nervous. The second was taller and older, with sharper features and cold eyes. She carried a medical scanner and approached Danny like he was a dangerous animal. "I am," the older one said. "This is my sister. You are on our medical vessel. We found your escape pod drifting in Sector 7. You were almost dead." Danny swallowed hard. His throat felt like sandpaper. "Thank you," he managed to say, "for saving me." Did not smile. She ran her scanner over his body and studied the results. "You are human," she said. It was not a question. "Yes." "We have never seen a human before, only heard stories." His violet eyes met his. "The stories are not pleasant." Danny understood. Humans had a reputation in this part of the galaxy. They called Earth a death world, a planet so dangerous that nothing should survive there. Yet humans did more than survive. They thrived. They spread across the stars, and they brought their violent history with them. To aliens like these, humans were monsters, predators with soft skin and warm smiles that hid something dark inside. "I am not going to hurt you," Danny said. "I am just an engineer. I fix things. I was hauling spare parts when the pirates attacked." Stepped closer. Her fear seemed mixed with something else. Curiosity, maybe. Pirates, the raiders. "I do not know what they were called. They came out of nowhere, blew my ship apart in minutes." Danny tried to sit up again. This time he managed it, though his muscles screamed in protest. "How long was I out?" 3 days, said. "Your injuries were severe, internal bleeding, broken bones, radiation exposure from the pod's damaged shielding." She paused. "Any would have died, but you healed faster than we expected." Danny nodded. He had heard this before. Humans were tough in ways that aliens found disturbing. Their bodies fought to survive even when logic said they should give up. "Your captain," Danny said. "Does he know I am here?" She corrected. "Captain knows. She is deciding what to do with you. We are traveling to the Nexus station for medical supplies. She may leave you there." "That works for me. I can find a human outpost from there." Seemed relieved. She clearly wanted him off her ship as soon as possible. However, looked almost disappointed. "Can I ask you something?" said. Her sister shot her a warning look, but she ignored it. "Is it true that humans can survive without water for 3 days?" Danny almost smiled. "Yes, it is not fun, but we can do it. And you can eat almost anything, even plants that are poisonous to other species." "Some plants, yes, we have strong stomachs." His eyes grew even wider. "And you can run for hours without stopping, chasing prey until it collapses from exhaustion. That is called persistence hunting. Our ancestors did it thousands of years ago. We do not really need to anymore." "But you could." Danny shrugged. "I guess so. I have never tried." Grabbed her sister's arm. That is enough questions. He needs rest. She looked at Danny with those cold, violet eyes. Stay in this room. Do not wander the ship. The crew is nervous about having a human on board. I understand, Danny said. I will stay out of trouble. The sisters left. Danny heard the door lock behind them. He lay back on the bed and stared at the blue ceiling. These aliens were afraid of him. He could see it in their eyes, hear it in their voices. They thought he might attack them at any moment, like he was some kind of wild animal they had made the mistake of bringing inside. It bothered him more than he expected. Danny had always seen himself as a regular guy. He fixed engines and delivered cargo. He called his sister on Earth every week. He liked bad movies and cold beer. He was not a monster. But to these he was exactly that, a creature from a nightmare wrapped in friendly packaging. Danny decided he would prove them wrong. He would be polite and helpful. He would show them that humans were more than their reputation. Maybe by the time they reached the station, these aliens would see him as a person instead of a threat. Hours passed. The ship hummed quietly around him. Danny drifted in and out of sleep, his body still recovering from its injuries. Late in the night cycle, he heard footsteps outside his door. The lock clicked open. Danny kept his eyes closed on instinct. His breathing stayed slow and steady. The door slid open. 2 sets of footsteps entered the room. The sisters had returned. Danny's heart beat a little faster, but he forced himself to stay still. He wanted to know what they really thought of him, what they said when they believed he could not hear. And approached his bed. They spoke softly in their own language, but his translator caught every word. He looks so peaceful when he sleeps, whispered, not like a monster at all. Do not let your guard down, replied. The peaceful ones are often the most dangerous. Danny lay perfectly still, listening, waiting, curious about what secrets these alien sisters would reveal when they thought no one was watching. The medical bay was quiet except for the soft hum of machines. Blue emergency lights cast long shadows across the walls. Danny kept his eyes closed and his breathing steady as the 2 sisters stood beside his bed. His readings are stable, said, checking her scanner. His body heals remarkably fast. The broken ribs are almost mended already. I told you humans were special, whispered. The medical texts say they can recover from wounds that would kill any other species. Special is not the word I would use. Dangerous is more accurate. Danny felt his jaw tighten, but he did not move. He wanted to hear more. Moved closer to the bed. He could sense her presence near his shoulder. Look at these scars on his arms, so many of them. What kind of life has he lived? A violent one, clearly. Humans fight constantly. They fight each other, they fight nature, they fight anything that threatens them. It is in their blood. But he does not seem violent. He was polite when he spoke to us. He even thanked us for saving him. Made a soft sound of doubt. Words are easy. Actions are what matter. We should not trust him until we see how he behaves. There was a moment of silence. Danny kept his breathing slow, in and out, like waves on a beach. He could feel his heart beating harder, but he hoped the sisters would not notice. His face is interesting, said softly. Different from ours. More angles, more texture, and this covering on his head. She paused. What do humans call it? Hair, they grow it from their skin. Can I touch it? No, he might wake up. Just quickly, I want to know what it feels like. Danny's whole body tensed as he felt gentle fingers brush against his hair. His touch was light, almost like a breeze. Her skin was cool against his scalp. It is soft, whispered with wonder in her voice. Like the fibers of a flower and warm. His whole body is warm. Humans run hotter than us, said. Their internal temperature is several degrees higher. It helps them survive in cold environments. It must be nice to carry your own warmth wherever you go. Danny struggled to keep still. His face felt hot. He was sure he was blushing, and he prayed the dim light would hide it. pulled her hand back. I wonder what he dreams about. Do humans dream? The texts say they do. Their brains create stories while they sleep, sometimes pleasant, sometimes terrifying. Maybe he is dreaming about his home, about Earth. Or maybe he is dreaming about hunting prey, about chasing something until it drops. Sighed, you always think the worst of everyone. I think realistically, our galaxy is not kind to those who let their guard down. Danny heard footsteps as one of them moved away from the bed, then spoke again, her voice quieter than before. I will admit he does not seem like the humans in the stories. He has not threatened us. He has not tried to escape or explore the ship. He accepted our rules without argument. See, he is different. Different or clever. A smart predator knows how to make prey feel safe. Made a frustrated sound. Not everything is predator and prey, sister. Sometimes people are just people. He is not people, he is human. That is different. Is it? He has family. He mentioned a sister on Earth. He works a job. He was just flying through space when disaster struck. How is that different from us? Did not answer right away. When she did, her voice was softer. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I am being unfair. But our parents taught us to be careful, especially around unknown species. Our parents never met a human. They only knew the stories. Stories exist for a reason. Another pause. Danny heard the scanner beep quietly. His heart rate increased, said suddenly, just now. Danny's blood went cold. Maybe he is dreaming, said. You said humans have dreams. Maybe, did not sound convinced. We should go, let him rest. Just a moment more. His voice came from near the foot of his bed now. I want to look at him a little longer. You are fascinated with him. I am curious, there is a difference. Is there? His tone carried a hint of teasing. If I did not know better, I would say my little sister finds this human attractive. His voice rose with embarrassment. That is ridiculous. He is a completely different species. Different species have found each other attractive before. It is not unheard of. I do not find him attractive. I find him interesting. His biology, his culture, his history. Humans are the most successful species to emerge from a death world. That deserves study. Study, of course. Danny could hear the smile in his voice. Despite the tension, he almost smiled too. Sisters were the same everywhere, it seemed, even among aliens. Let us go, said, before your study subject wakes up and catches you staring at him. Their footsteps moved toward the door. Danny waited, keeping his body relaxed. Then stopped. He heard her turn back. I hope he stays a while, she whispered, so quietly that Danny barely caught it. I want to learn more about him, about humans, about everything. The door slid open. Light from the hallway spilled into the room for a moment. Then it closed and darkness returned. Danny opened his eyes and stared at the ceiling. His heart was pounding. His face was burning. He had learned more than he expected. These sisters were not so different from humans after all. They had fears and curiosity. They argued and teased each other. They formed opinions based on stories and struggled to see past them. And wanted to learn more about him. That thought made something warm bloom in his chest. It was not just relief at being safe. It was something else. Something he had not felt in a long time. Connection, the possibility of connection. Danny turned onto his side and closed his eyes for real this time. Tomorrow he would stop hiding. He would show these aliens who he really was. Not a monster, not a predator, just a man trying to find his way home. But as sleep pulled him under, he could still feel the ghost of fingers in his hair. And he could not stop thinking about the wonder in her voice when she called him warm. Danny woke with the ship's morning lights. He lay still for a moment, remembering everything from the night before, the sisters visiting his room, their whispered conversation, his gentle touch on his hair. He took a deep breath and made a decision. Today, he would stop pretending. He would show these aliens who he really was. When arrived for his morning checkup, Danny was sitting up in bed. He smiled at her, and he saw her silver skin flush slightly near her cheeks. "You look better today," she said, preparing her scanner. "How do you feel?" "Stronger, thanks to you and your sister," Danny meant it. "I know you worked hard to save me. I want you to know how much that means to me." Paused, her violet eyes met his. "You do not need to thank us. Saving lives is what we do. Still, most people would not rescue a human, not with our reputation. You took a risk bringing me on board." "It was the right thing to do." She ran the scanner over his chest. "Your ribs have healed completely. Your internal organs show no damage. You humans really are remarkable. We are stubborn. Our bodies do not know when to quit." Smiled at that. It was the first real smile she had given him. It made her whole face brighten. The door opened and entered carrying a piece of equipment. It looked like some kind of diagnostic tool, but sparks flew from one end. His expression was frustrated. "This calibrator broke again," she said too. "Third time this week. I cannot get it to hold a stable charge." Danny stood up slowly. His legs were steady now. "Can I look at it?" His eyes narrowed. "Why?" "I am an engineer. I fix things. Maybe I can help." The sisters exchanged a glance. Clearly wanted to refuse, but after a moment she handed him the device. Danny turned it over in his hands. The design was different from human technology, but the principles were the same. He found the problem in less than a minute. A small connector had come loose inside the casing. "Do you have a thin tool, something like a needle?" Handed him a medical probe. Danny used it to push the connector back into place. He closed the casing and pressed the power button. The device hummed to life, stable and strong. Stared at him. "How did you do that so quickly?" "Lucky guess." Danny handed it back. "The connector was loose, probably from vibration. You might want to add some padding inside the case to prevent it from happening again." Looked at the device, then at Danny. Something shifted in her expression. Not trust, not yet, but maybe respect. "Thank you," she said. The words seemed to cost her something. "Happy to help." Later that day, Danny was allowed to leave the medical bay for the first time. Served as his guide, showing him the common areas of the ship. The crew members they passed watched him with nervous eyes, but no one challenged him. They ended up in a small dining area. Brought him food, strange fruits and vegetables that tasted better than they looked. Danny ate slowly, savoring the flavors. "Tell me about Earth," said, sitting across from him. "I have read about it, but texts are not the same as hearing from someone who lived there." Danny thought for a moment. "Earth is beautiful and terrifying. It has oceans so deep that no light reaches the bottom, mountains so tall that the air becomes too thin to breathe, forests so thick that you can walk for days without seeing the sky." Listened with wide eyes. "How did your species survive there?" "We adapted. We learned to use tools, to build shelters, to work together. Alone, a human is weak compared to most predators, but together we are strong." "You work together. That surprises me. The stories say humans fight each other constantly." "We do fight, a lot. We have wars and conflicts all the time, but we also love each other. We protect each other. When something threatens the people we care about, we become something else entirely." "What do you mean?" Danny thought of his sister back on Earth. Little Amy with her bright smile and her dreams of becoming a doctor. He sent her money every month so she could stay in school. He had not spoken to her in weeks. She probably thought he was dead. "Humans will do anything for family," he said quietly. "Anything at all. We will fight impossible odds. We will sacrifice everything. There is no limit to what we will do for the people we love." Was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Are the same. Family is everything to us. We would die for our sisters and brothers." "Then maybe we are not so different after all." Their eyes met across the table. Danny felt something pass between them. Understanding, maybe, or the beginning of something deeper. The moment was broken when entered the dining area. She sat down beside her sister and looked at Danny with an expression he could not read. "I checked your repair on the calibrator," she said. "It is working perfectly, better than before. Glad I could help. You have useful skills. The captain may want you to look at some other equipment before we reach the station." "I would be happy to." Nodded slowly. "Perhaps I misjudged you. You are not what I expected a human to be." "Most humans are not what you expect. We are just people, different from you but not so different. We have families. We have jobs. We laugh and cry and dream just like anyone else." Considered this. Then she did something unexpected. She smiled. It was small and brief, but it was real. "Maybe the stories got it wrong," she said. "Or maybe you are just unusual. Maybe both." The evening came. Danny returned to the medical bay to rest, but he was not tired. He stood by the window and watched the stars stream past. Somewhere out there was Earth. Somewhere out there was home. The door opened behind him. He turned to see standing in the doorway, her silver skin glowing softly in the dim light. "I need to tell you something," she said. Her voice was quiet, nervous. "What is it?" She stepped into the room and let the door close. "Last night when we came to check on you, I know you were awake." Danny's heart stopped. "What?" "Your breathing changed after I touched your hair. And this morning you knew things about our conversation, things you could not know if you were really asleep." She moved closer. "You were listening to everything we said." Danny's face burned. He opened his mouth to apologize but held up her hand. "I am not angry," she said. "I am glad you heard. Now you know the truth about how I feel, about how my sister feels. We were afraid of you because of stories, but stories are not always true. I am sorry. I should not have pretended. I just wanted to know what you really thought of me." "And now you know," she smiled, and this time it reached her eyes. "The question is, what are you going to do about it?" Danny stood there, his heart pounding, his face red, completely unsure what to say. But for the first time since waking up on this alien ship, he felt like he was exactly where he was supposed to be. Danny stood frozen in the soft blue light of the medical bay, watched him with those large violet eyes, waiting for an answer. He could feel the heat in his face, the rapid beating of his heart. "I did not mean to deceive you," he finally said. "I just wanted to understand. On my ship, alone for months at a time, I learned to read people by what they say when they think no one is listening. It became habit." Tilted her head slightly. "And what did you learn about us?" "That you are curious about things your people fear. That your sister loves you enough to protect you from anything, even me. That you both judge others by actions, not just words." He paused. "And that you have the softest touch I have ever felt." Now it was turned to blush. Her silver skin took on a faint purple tint near her cheeks. "I should not have done that. It was improper to touch you without permission." "I did not mind." Their eyes met. The silence stretched between them, full of things unspoken. "Come with me," said suddenly. "There is something I want to show you." She led him through quiet corridors to a small observation deck at the edge of the ship. The room was empty except for a few curved benches facing a massive window. Beyond the glass, the stars blazed in patterns Danny had never seen before. A distant nebula painted the darkness with streaks of purple and gold. "This is my favorite place on the ship," said, sitting down. "I come here when I need to think." Danny sat beside her, careful to leave a respectful distance. "It is beautiful. We are far from your home, far from mine too. Sometimes I look at these stars and wonder if anyone out there is looking back. Probably. The galaxy is full of life. That is what makes it so complicated." Turned to face him. "Why did you become an engineer? Of all the things a human could do, why fix machines?" Danny thought about it. "Because machines make sense. You give them the right parts and the right care and they work. They do not lie or pretend or judge. They just do what they were built to do. He smiled slightly. People are harder. People do not come with instruction manuals. No, they do not. Was quiet for a moment. When I was young, I wanted to be an explorer. I wanted to see new worlds and meet new species. My parents said it was too dangerous. They said I should stay safe on and become a healer like my sister. Do you regret listening to them? Sometimes. This medical ship is the closest I have come to my dream. We travel to many places, but we never stay long. We heal people and move on. She looked at him. You are the first alien I have ever really talked to, not as a patient, but as a person. I am glad I could help with your dream, even a little. The door behind them opened. Walked in, her expression shifting from surprise to something like suspicion. There you are, she said too. I was looking everywhere. Her eyes moved to Danny. What are you two doing here? Just talking, said, looking at the stars. Talking? His voice was flat. She moved closer and Danny noticed she looked uncomfortable, almost embarrassed. Told me you were awake last night, said to him. When we came to check on you, you heard everything. I did. I am sorry for the deception. Crossed her arms. You heard me say I was afraid of you, that I thought you might be dangerous. Yes. And you are not angry. Danny shook his head. How could I be? You do not know me. You only know the stories about my kind. Fear is reasonable when you face something unknown. Stared at him for a long moment. Then her posture relaxed just slightly. I was wrong about you. I judged you based on what others said, not what I saw with my own eyes. That was unfair. We all do it. Humans do it too. We meet someone different and assume the worst. It takes effort to see past the surface. And you are willing to give us that effort, even after how we treated you. You saved my life. You fed me. You let me stay on your ship even though I terrified your crew. I think I can forgive a few nervous looks. Almost smiled, almost. You are strange, Danny Cole, not what I expected from a. I will take that as a compliment. A sudden alarm shattered the peaceful moment. Red lights flashed across the observation deck. A voice came over the ship's communication system, speaking rapidly in. What is happening? Danny asked. The color drained from his face. Pirates, the raiders, they have found us. Was already moving toward the door. We need to get to the bridge, now. They ran through the corridors together. Crew members rushed past them in organized panic. When they reached the bridge, the scene was controlled chaos. The captain, a tall woman with sharp features and calm eyes, stood at the center giving orders. On the main screen, Danny saw the approaching ship. His blood went cold. He recognized the markings on its hull, the same pirates who had destroyed his cargo vessel. They are demanding we surrender, the captain said. They want our medical supplies and any valuables we might have. Can we outrun them? Asked. No, they are faster. Can we fight them? No, we are a medical ship. We have minimal weapons. Danny stepped forward. Everyone on the bridge turned to look at him. Fear flickered in their eyes, but also something else. Hope, maybe. Desperate hope. I have an idea, Danny said, but you will have to trust me. The captain studied him. You are the human, the one we rescued. Yes, and those are the same pirates who destroyed my ship. I know how they think. I know what they fear. And what do they fear? Danny felt something shift inside him. The calm focus he always found in moments of crisis. The part of him that refused to quit, no matter the odds. Me, he said, they fear humans, and I am going to use that. The captain looked at, then at. Both sisters nodded without hesitation. What do you need? The captain asked. Access to your communication system, in about 5 minutes. You have 3. Danny moved to the communications console. His hands were steady even though his heart raced. He had talked his way out of trouble before, but never with stakes this high. Appeared beside him. What can I do? Stay close. If this works, I am going to need someone to catch me when I collapse from relief. Despite everything, she smiled. I will be right here. Danny opened the communication channel and began to speak. Danny's voice was calm and steady as he broadcast across the open channel. Every word was measured. Every pause was deliberate. Attention vessel. This is Danny Cole, human engineer, registration number 77429. You destroyed my cargo ship in Sector 7 3 days ago. I survived. And now I am aboard this medical vessel under galactic humanitarian protocols. The bridge was silent. Everyone watched him. I have already transmitted your ship's energy signature to the Human Defense Network. A patrol was dispatched when my distress beacon activated. They are en route to my last known position. When they do not find me there, they will start searching. And they will find you. Static crackled on the speakers, then a rough voice responded. Human, you are bluffing. There is no patrol. You were alone when we hit your ship. I was hauling supplies for a human colony. You think they would let those supplies travel without protection? The patrol was 2 hours behind me. They have been searching for me since my ship went dark. More static. Danny could hear voices arguing in the background. Even if there is a patrol, the pirate captain said, they will never find us. Space is too vast. They will search for years and find nothing. Maybe, but you attacked a human vessel. You killed a human citizen. And now you are about to attack a medical ship under humanitarian protection. Danny leaned forward. Do you know what humans do to people who attack the helpless? Do you know how long we hold grudges? Silence. My people do not forget. We do not forgive. You could run to the edge of the galaxy, and there would still be a human somewhere, waiting, watching, planning. Your children will grow old looking over their shoulders. You will hear stories about the day their family made enemies of humanity. You cannot threaten us, but the pirate's voice had lost its confidence. I am not threatening. I am explaining. Scan this ship. Find my biosignature. One human aboard a medical vessel full of healers. And ask yourself this question. Why would a human be traveling alone? Why would I let myself be captured by aliens if there was not a plan? A long pause. Danny held his breath. Maybe I am bait, he continued. Maybe the patrol is closer than you think. Maybe they are watching right now, waiting to see if you are stupid enough to attack. Or maybe I am bluffing and you have nothing to fear. He smiled, though the pirates could not see it. The question is, are you willing to bet your lives on it? The communication channel went silent. On the main screen, the pirate ship hung motionless in space. Seconds stretched into minutes. No one on the bridge moved. Then the pirate ship's engines flared. It turned away from the medical vessel and accelerated into the darkness. Within moments, it was gone. The bridge erupted in cheers. Crew members embraced each other. The captain slumped against her console in relief. Danny stood very still, his hands trembling now that the crisis had passed. Threw her arms around him. The embrace was sudden and warm, and Danny felt his face turn red all over again. You did it, she whispered. You saved us. I talked a lot, that is all. You made them afraid, with words. How did you know it would work? Danny looked at her. Pirates are cowards at heart. They attack easy targets. The moment you become difficult, they look for someone weaker. I just had to make them believe I was not worth the trouble. Approached them. She placed her hand over her heart in a gesture of deep respect. You saved this ship. You saved my sister. I will never forget this, Danny Cole. You saved me first. Consider us even. The captain walked over. Her calm expression had cracked, revealing genuine emotion underneath. When we reach Nexus Station, you can have anything you want. Passage to human space, supplies, credits, name it and it is yours. Danny considered the offer. He looked at the stars streaming past He thought about Earth, about his sister Amy, about the life he had left behind. Then he looked at her violet eyes and her silver skin, and the way she smiled at him like he was something wonderful. "Actually," he said slowly, "I was wondering if you might need an engineer, someone to keep your equipment running, someone who knows how to fix things." The captain raised an eyebrow. "You want to stay? If you will have me." His face lit up, even looked pleased. "Welcome to the crew," the captain said. "Try not to scare anyone too badly." That evening, the ship's mood was celebratory. The crew that had feared Danny now looked at him with something like admiration. He had become their protector, their unlikely hero. The monster from the stories had turned out to be just a man. Danny sat in the observation deck, watching the stars. The door opened behind him and two sets of footsteps approached and sat down on either side of him. Each carried a steaming cup. "What is this?" Danny asked. "A tradition," said. "We share warm drinks with those who have protected us. It is our way of saying thank you." Danny accepted the cup. The liquid inside was sweet and slightly spicy, warming him from the inside out. "So," said, her voice playful, "are you going to pretend to be asleep again tonight, to see what we say about you?" Danny laughed. The sound surprised him. He had not laughed in a long time. "I think I am done pretending," he said. "From now on, I will just be myself." Good leaned against his shoulder. Her cool skin met his warmth, and neither of them pulled away. "I like you better when you are real." Watched them with an expression that mixed amusement with resignation. "I suppose I will have to get used to having a human on board, a human who eavesdrops on private conversations." I said I was sorry. "You did, many times. I'm still going to remind you of it for years." "Years?" Danny raised an eyebrow. "You think I will be around that long?" Smiled. It was small and dry, but it was real. "I have a feeling you are not going anywhere, Danny Cole. Humans are stubborn like that." She was right. Danny watched the stars with these two alien sisters beside him and felt something he had not felt in years. He felt like he belonged. The galaxy was vast and dangerous. There would be more pirates, more challenges, more moments when everything hung by a thread. But Danny was not worried. He had found something worth protecting, something worth fighting for. He had found a new family among the stars. And as the ship carried them toward new adventures, Danny made himself a promise. He would never pretend again. He would face whatever came with open eyes and an honest heart. Because sometimes the best way to prove you are not a monster is simply to be yourself. Reached over and took his hand. Her cool fingers intertwined with his warm ones. She did not say anything. She did not need to. Some things do not require words. Some things are simply felt. And Danny Cole, human engineer from a dangerous world called Earth, finally felt at home.